Yo, what's good? Welcome back to another episode of Levitation, the Sunday series. And look, we back with a good one. We back with an amazing one. We back with a exquisite one. Let's get into it. I hope it bless you. It's pretty ironic that we recognize that we're limited in choosing the right direction. Simply meaning we don't know it all. Once we finally come to that understanding, because for some of us, it takes us a little bit longer to reach that realization. But once we finally reach that realization, we often seek help from somebody who knows what we don't know about. But there's this thing that happens with us that even though we don't fully know, we still doubt the knowledge and the direction that's being given to us by somebody who's more experienced in that area. And the only reason why we have that doubt is because we ourselves don't know the answer. So most of the times, instead of walking in the direction that has been given, we end up procrastinating, trying to figure it out ourselves. And it becomes an endless cycle until the desire to even go in that direction dies. We do this in business, we do this in relationships, but most importantly, we do this with God. God has so much that He wants to accomplish in our lives. He knows what it takes and where you need to be in order to accomplish those things. And the things that stops us is not society, it's not other people, it's not the haters, it's not our family and how we were brought up, it's not even the devil, it's nobody but ourselves. And what God is saying is, would you please get out your own way? In a lot of areas of our lives, we end up delaying or completely denying the access to higher levels, but because we don't have the knowledge for ourselves, we procrastinate. We get in our own way. We become insecure because we don't have the knowledge. And that manifests in multiple different ways. That can show up as fear, that can show up as procrastination, that can show up as complete loss of interest. But we end up getting in our own way. That stops our destiny. In Proverbs chapter 3, verses 5 through 7, it says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Do not depend on your own understanding. Seek His will in all you do, and He will show you which path to take. Don't be impressed with your own wisdom. Instead, fear the Lord and turn away from evil." This passage of scripture tells us that our trust in the Lord has to be so strong that even when it don't make sense to us, we must still follow His direction. Unfortunately, this is not what we do. God can call us to a specific thing and give us direction. And because we don't fully understand how it applies to us, we end up not acting in that direction. We hesitate, we procrastinate, and unfortunately, we deny the direction that has been given. All because of our own insecurity, all because of our lack of understanding. And what God is saying is that you're not going to understand what I understand. Your understanding and your ways don't compare to my understanding and ways. So don't try to understand it from your limited perspective. Trust me, I got you. The thing that's stopping you from your destiny is yourself. This isn't just something that started with us today, but this has been taking place in scripture since the beginning of time. We see it with Adam, gave him a direction. Adam didn't fully trust, so he wound up completely destroyed his destiny. There's even some of the highly esteemed prophets that God used in the Bible displayed the same mindset of getting in their own way. And the one that I want to recognize today is Moses. Moses almost destroyed the destiny God prepared for him. Oh, you don't believe me? Let me take you to the scripture. In Exodus chapter 3, starting at verse 10, it says, "Now go, for I am sending you to Pharaoh. You must lead my people Israel out of Egypt." But Moses protested to God, "Who am I to appear before Pharaoh? Who am I to lead the people of Israel out of Egypt?" God answered, "I will be with you, and this is your sign that I am the one who has sent you. When you have brought the people out of Egypt, you will worship God at this very mountain." But Moses protested, "If I go to the people of Israel and tell them the God of our ancestors has sent me to you, they will ask, 'What is His name?' Then what should I tell them?" Then God goes on to explain, "Tell them that I am sent you." Now that was chapter 3. If we go to the next chapter, starting at verse 1, it says, "But Moses protested again. What if they won't believe me or listen to me? What if they say the Lord never appeared to you?" Then the Lord asked him, "What is that in your hand?" "A shepherd's staff," Moses replied. "Throw it down on the ground," the Lord told him. So Moses threw down the staff and it turned into a snake. Moses jumped back. But Moses pleaded with the Lord, "Oh Lord, I'm not very good with words. I never have been and I'm not now. Even though you have spoken to me, I get tongue-tied and my words get tangled." Then the Lord asked Moses, "Who makes the person's mouth? Who decides whether a person speak or do not speak? Hear or do not hear? See and do not see? Is it not I, the Lord? Now go, I will be with you as you speak, and I will instruct you in what to say." But Moses again pleaded, "Lord, please send anyone else." Then the Lord became angry with Moses. "All right," he said. What about your brother Aaron, the Levite? I know he speaks well, and look, he is on his way to meet you right now. He will be delighted to see it. You ain't got no more excuses, Moses. In 2 chapters, Moses protested and procrastinated with God a total of 5 times in that one conversation. God showed him miracles to give him confidence. God answered the questions that he had to give him confidence. God even brought a person to make up for his insecurity to give him confidence. But Moses was so insecure and didn't understand why him, that he was saying, God, I know you called me, but I don't want it. I know you asking me to do this, but please pick somebody else. And God got frustrated and said, Moses, get out your own way. Now, Moses ultimately complied to God's instruction, but because he complied means he had a choice. Moses could have taken the option and said, hey, look, God, I know you calling me and I know you done sent my brother, but hey, listen, this ain't for me. I don't understand how I'm gonna get this done. I don't understand why you chose me. But you know what I do understand? I understand shepherding. I could go back to my father-in-law and live a life of what I know, live a life of what I'm familiar with. And that's what we do. God has placed gifts, talents, desires in us for us to pursue. But because we don't understand how it's possible to pursue those things, we tend to go back to what makes sense to us. I'm gonna be real and say it. God didn't call everybody to work a 9 to 5. God didn't call everybody to get a degree. God didn't call everybody to be entrepreneurs. God called you for his specific purpose. And the only way for us to know what that is by seeking and spending time with him, not by following what makes sense to other people. God has called some people to step out on faith and start that business, to call that person, to lead the city, to forgive that person, to write the song, to write the book. But you won't trust God for the calling because you don't understand. And God is saying, would you please just get out your own way? Fulfilling your destiny is on the other side of faith in me. Trust me. But let's make something very, very absolutely clear. The key component to doing this is by seeking God first. That true fellowship with God will start to clear out some of the distractions so you can see what your true calling is. Unfortunately, sometimes we let people dictate our destiny because we don't fully understand how it's possible to do. Because we don't know anybody in our family or in our friend group has reached this particular goal or has followed this calling. But God placed the desire in you. And just because you don't know anybody or you don't know how it's going to get done or you don't understand why even me, we end up putting limits on God when God is the one that called you to it. And what God is saying, I'm tired of y'all putting limitations on me because of y'all limitations. In the Bible, it says, in your weakness, I am made strong. This is God talking to us. When you're weak, when you're limited, that's when I shine, baby. So I ask the question, have we been declining our destiny? If so, get out your own way and let God be God. This is Levitation, where we're reaching our highest potential. Stay blessed.